Hi everyone, welcome back for the next Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. This is the June edition of our vessel. I have a largish piece of quilt that I picked up from Melanie at Reclaimed Textiles, and I quite like the pattern on it. I think that it would have been a lot darker back in the day, and it's very faded and very bleached, which I don't mind, but I think I'd like that to be the inside. So it is pretty old. It's got lots of loose threads. I've never made a vessel before, so I thought that I would kind of keep it a little bit simple for the first time. And I wanted to join these pieces. So it was a larger piece that was all, it wasn't cut straight or anything like that. It was just cut out. So I am going to use the backing outside and this beautiful piece inside so that I can see it. So I've got two minds. I really do quite like that inside, and I'm thinking when it's this tall, now that I'm putting it together on camera, it's actually interesting. You get a different view when you start to do it on camera than if you're doing it in your lounge. Will I be able to enjoy the inside is the question I've got. Will it be too tall? But I've still got a bit, and I can make maybe a shorter one to match. So that's what I'm going to do. So my idea is that these sides are just going to be roughly hand stitched, and I'll put buttons down them. And I think I'd like to, I've got a bit of quilt that I can use for the base, and it's not correct sizes, but I think I like that idea. I think I like the idea of putting this longer side along the base. So I've decided to very rough stitch around the edge so that when it's standing, it's got like a foot. So it's sort of designed to be a little bit not like a circle. This base is, that's too short. This base is meant to kind of get it into a different shape. I want to pin it now because I want to see if I cut a bit of this off, which I will. It's not going to fit. So this is going to make a bit of a square edge. Hope everyone's happy and healthy. Got a bit of a rainy day here in Melbourne today, on a Sunday on our long weekend. Okay, so you can see that is going to be a bit squarer on that side, because I think if with the buttons along here, it'll be a bit of a feature. And now I want to square this off a bit at the back so that it's just so I don't have to cut a circle. I'm being a bit lazy about the circle, but that's okay. But I also didn't just want a circle, because everyone makes circles. I wanted to square it about here. So that'll go there, that'll go there. Let's just cut this off square. So it's going to be like that. So I have to check when the pins are out if it's still going to stand, but it's designed that if it's on a shelf you'd see this side or this side, but I kind of love how wibbly wobbly it is. To me it looks like a vessel, so I love that. And love it. Oh, I love this idea. So that's like that. I was looking at some of the Pinterest pictures and I did see a couple that were all fairly neutral and light in colour, like white. So I did decide that I want to utilise some of these beautiful bits of white over it. But I think I want to sew it first. Oh, maybe I can probably start to put some of them on. What else have I got? I've got this is beautiful. So I don't want to cut that one up. Even this up. Like that. That's a good thing for a base. So that's an idea. I might have this up so it just sits up above like that, even back a bit because I like the seam. So I might stitch down here because I'll be able to get my hand in and stitch on, but I might take this off and save that till last because it'll be easier to stitch on. And there I just freed up some pins so I can actually pin on my thing. So that was going to go here. Okay. There we go. And I think this might come here just away from this because I might do a double stitch. So let's just, is that the way I want it? I think it looks better up that way. Just going to put this on. And decide. I think I will. I think I'm all right. I'm thinking on the spot here. I think I will cut this a little bit more close to the lacing edge work, and then I won't be looking at it going, oh, that's all uneven. I'll be able to just stitch it on. That's better. So this is going to highlight this edge. Not stitching it down just yet because I don't know if I want this coming right across. So that's definitely happy about that being there. I think this is going to have to be somewhere because if I'm thinking this is the front, I definitely want to be able to see some of this. I mean, it's still going to be rounded. It's not going to be totally, you know, a corner. Okay, so here. It's kind of a corner, but it's sort of not. Oh, I love this one. This was one from Tasmania, I believe. I love it. Nice little memories. So, let's just have a look. I like that I've used a corner. Did I have any more of this with me? No. But I think I'm cutting it. Sorry if anyone doesn't like that. But this gives me something else to put somewhere. Like along here. I did think that it would be easy to overkill with this. So, no, I don't want that there. Because I do love this as well. I mean, I love the inside. Or maybe I should have it the other way around. Here we go. Already second guessing myself. I was putting this on the outside because I thought I'd cover it completely up, but I actually don't want to cover it completely up. So I think I am going to reverse my idea. There you are, thinking it all out on camera. And that means that I'm going to be a lot happier. Now, is there a way up? Does it look like it goes a certain way up? I think I like the fact that it could be up either way, I do believe. It's very hard to tell because it's very faded. It could also be up this way almost. But my thought is I like the fact that these patterns kind of create a bowl-like pattern structure, and this sort of top here looks like it's a top, whereas that looks like a bottom. So I think this is going to be my inside. All right, so I'm still having like a almost 2 centimeters or nearly an inch of the seam. Now I'm just going to try put some of these on again just so I can make sure that I'm happy about it. Yeah, I am. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I'm definitely liking a bit of minimalism on this because I do have another idea I want to add after, and it will require not having it all filled up. I'm not going to tell you yet, I'll get to that. Right, I'm not putting that on yet either because I'm going to stitch this bit. All right, so I'm just going to come up along this edge in small stitches. I've got this thread, which is like an antique white, and I'm thinking that this will be good to just secure the edge down, but probably I'm thinking I'll use a really nice chunky thread to create a edge so as it's a bit more decorative perhaps. Just coming in and out, so that's why it's good not to do the base yet. That's my thoughts on it. Just take the pins out as I get up there. I really love doing these projects because I think sometimes there's just stuff on your list that you've been thinking, oh, I'd like to make one of those one day, and you might not get round to it, but then if it's part of the Journal of Stitchery, it's pretty good. Gives you an excuse to get round to it. So I was saying in episode 525 that I didn't know if I'd get a video up before I went to Sydney, but I am surprisingly, it's surprising when you have a few days how much you can actually fit in, getting through all the things. All right, this is going to be a little bit time consuming to go all the way along, so I think I will come back. Okay, now that I've gone all the way up this side and I've got to the top, and I am going to stitch this down, taking into account this inner seam, so I get that inner seam down as well. Because I think it's doing 2 jobs in one, really. It's a good idea, isn't it? And I'm just using my fingers underneath to feel where that edge is. These edges of these lacy doilies always, they're a great help because you can see all these little holes kind of give you a spot to put your needle. I'm a bit excited about the next project. I think once again there are things that you want to try but you just don't kind of put at the top of your list, and I do like to get to the park and sketch things and draw things, so I'm kind of thinking I'm going to challenge myself. I know with Down the Garden Path, when we were doing so many prompts, I felt like I got a little bit crowded out from a time perspective, to feel a bit rushed with the creative process, in terms of, you know, sometimes it just takes you a little bit longer to come up with some ideas. But we'll see how we go. I might dedicate quite a bit of time to it to do a really good. I've already, my winter journal was a concertina book, so it's sort of not something I'm thinking too hard about because I've done that, so that's all right. It's not new. I don't think I want to get the edges down. I think I like them being a bit loose. That's what's happening. The muse begins on a new piece. Okay, this is the first bit. I'm going to leave my thread at the back and come back after to do this, but what I wanted to do was start, so this is going to be like this to there, and then this is going to be like a corner to here, and so that means that this, which way up is it? This way. This is going to go so it fits halfway between the corner and the back corner. So there's this one is going here. Oh, I've just had a thought. Because I'm going to stitch a bit of an edge, maybe it should be just up. I already did a bit, but it's all right. Just up a little bit higher to allow for that stitching at the base. Also on these edges where they've kind of been cut and at risk of fraying, I kind of do a couchy sort of thing just to get them down. So I'm just going along the edge first. And of course none of this will be seen in the inside either. So let's just move these up as I get past that bit. Okay, I'm going to come back when I've got this down and finish that line. So you're not just sitting watching me stitch, and then we'll see what the next bit is about. Okay, I have put this one on, finished going up and then down, and now I'm starting to put the bottom on. I've learnt something about this quilt. It was pretty easy to get these little thinner needles through, but I tried one which just has a slightly bigger eye. Still a bit pointy. It's sort of a short stubby one, and it was really hard to get it through. So these little pointy needles, they're the way to go. Obviously when I'm doing the base at this particular point, I'm going through 3 lots of fabric. Oh, it's a bit easier once you get to the 2 layers. So while I was stitching this in the other room and watching been watching a YouTube couple who travel. It's kind of primarily what I watch. I just discovered a younger couple in their 30-ish age group who are Irish, and they just did the Australian outback and Tasmania, so that's why I watched that whole season. But they're Irish and they're very funny. So it's Phil and Keely. Gosh, they're funny. They're very funny. And they don't plan anything, and they just have all the sorts of troubles in the world. But I was just watching that because I watched the Australian Outback tour, and thought, oh, there's such good entertainment. I think I'll keep watching. And I've just halfway through watching the Japanese season, which is quite fascinating because as some of you might know or remember, my brother and his wife go to Japan 2 or 3 times a year, and they actually have quite a few published books about Japan. So they did a book on the onsens, they did a book on Tokyo, they did a book on Kyoto. So my brother has also been learning Japanese at university level for quite a while. So I believe by now, because he's doing it at university level, I think he's probably quite fluent by now. He's a bit of a quiet one. He just sort of off the cuff will mention something, and then about 2 or 3 years later you realise he's actually incredibly good at it. He's just been very studious about it. I hope I wasn't off camera then. Anyway, I also, in between, given my hands a little rest, made persimmon chutney, and I will put a photo here. But as I've said before, Nora has lots of clients who are in their 80s and beyond who she cleans their houses. So it's a company that works cleaning old people's houses. And aside from one not very nice lady, all the rest love her. And they always give her fresh vegetables from their homegrown veggie patch, or fresh fruit, or one or two of the Italian or Greek grandmas make her biscuits, and so she brings them home. So we've got an abundance in the kitchen. Anyway, someone gave her like 2 whole bags of persimmons, and we thought, what the hell are we going to do with these? Because of course I've been off fruit. Well, I sorted out the fructose intolerant stuff, and anyway, I thought, well, I know there's sugar in chutney, but it's sort of more of a savoury in terms of you don't put a lot of it on your plate. So this morning I've made a big pot of chutney. It does have brown sugar in it, but the apple cider vinegar in it makes it it's very delicious. And it's got a little bit of onion too, which is also fructose. So yeah, made a big pot of that. And yes, it tastes very good. Oh, I should have bought my tweezers. This is how it's coming along so far. And finished that off camera. But what I did, because I had a whole heap of extra stuff, was made another smaller one. It's, don't know if you can see, I'll do it flat. It's just slightly smaller on the edge. So to its proportions, I have made a slightly smaller line here, and this is a wider line, but I've made it so it's shorter. So together, if you can imagine, when they're there sitting next to each other, they'll kind of complement each other. So let me take that off. Now I know I'm going to put that on that one, and I also, a little bit more of this, and I'll probably just put a little bit of this blue on to just hint at it from the bigger one. It's the only bit of colour that's not a neutral. put that there. And we've just got that and that to match. And this one, do something different with it. I'm also, I still got some bits. I haven't quite worked out. This is going to be too small, the bits around in the lounge. But when I am putting it together, I might make it a slightly different shape, like a little bit more round, or I don't know. Yeah, possibly a bit more oval. It sort of seems to naturally fall into this sort of shape. So we'll see how we go. I've got that and that. The only other thing I've got, a beautiful bit of this stuff that I got from Melanie as well, which is just lovely. When I saw that, I grabbed it straight away. But I think I'll use one of these on the small one. Somewhere. I might, I was just going to round it, but I think I quite like it with the, that can be sort of closer to the bottom with that straighter edge, but also there are little half ones here, which I think I might use on this little one as well. So there's that, and I might use one or two bigger ones on the larger vessel. I'm loving this little vessel so far. I'll cut these out ready to go, and that's probably where I will start next week. I think this particular way that that's stitched ends up looking like a bit of a straight line. That and that. Another circle, I think. For the big one. Let's see how it looks. Bit more, actually. I am going to do that because the larger vessel is larger. Let's see how this looks. Okay, I've got a little half, big one, and maybe a little half goes along an edge like this. I'm actually surprised how quickly these are coming along. Maybe this one around here. And what else? We've just got this. I liked the fact that this one I had sitting up, so maybe this is going to go here. So I felt that I was going to finish this really, really quickly, and I thought, no, I need to make two, and then that'll make sense, and then it's okay if I finish them really quickly, because then I've got time to make something else. Because I do have an idea, and I was going to use these and put it on, but I think I will actually wait and make another one. Why not? All right, this is going to go, now where's that needle? It's out. This was going to go here, under there. Don't know if anyone else has done it, but once I ironed over my pins and they all melted, the tops. That was weird. And they melted. All right, I've got those. I've got that. So I've got I don't have to put this on, but I like the fact that it'll match up this little piece. Just straighten that up. Maybe a bit there. Run out of pins again. Now I have got this one's going to come around here. Let me just take one out of there. So I've got this space up here. Technically that could just be, that's the wrong way. Is it? Yes. That could be there. That might be enough. Might not need to put another one. But I could if I wanted, or I could not have that like that and just have one of these here. Love the circular theme. Oh yes, I like that. If I want to put this on, I can possibly, no, I was going to say I could possibly put it down somewhere down here. Possible. We'll see. There's this little tiny pin. There. All right, well, there you go. When I started this morning, I thought, oh, it's going to take me ages to get my vessel happening. And now I'm like, here's two. Half done, or almost done even, in the first video. Well, isn't that good? All right, okay, so that's it for now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.